What up? And welcome back to my channel. Today we're gonna be making a creamy shrimp and broccoli pasta. And if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. You're gonna get through the rest of the video, don't worry, but make sure you do that while you're here, okay? So let's get into it. Now first off, I'm using some extra large shrimp. Clean the liner out the shrimp. Right there, that doodle line. Clean it out. Get it out of there. Do whatever, however you do it. This is just what I do. I just use like a little knife and just kind of scrape it out. But it's up to you. I use and do what works for me. You use and do what works for you. Just make sure you clean it out. I'm still scarred from that one time when I got some bad, dirty shrimp because they didn't clean it. You know what? I digress. I don't even want to talk about it because it took me a while before I was even able to eat shrimp again. Okay? I don't play those games. Anyway, so for the shrimp, we can go ahead and season it. All the seasonings will be at the bottom, per usual. If you're new here, they always are used. They are always at the bottom. Okay, so don't worry about that. But I will. I'm just seasoning to get a nice coat on it. I try not to use too much because you don't want it to get too salty, and it will happen fast when it comes to shrimp. So I'm gonna be using the same seasonings for the pasta too, so we don't be having too much flavors going on, you know. So once you mix it up and put it in the air fryer, I'm cooking it in the air fryer on 400 for 6 to 8 minutes or until it's pink. That depends on you, you know, just make sure you're checking it, okay? So while that is cooking, we'll go ahead and start on the veggies. I'm doing a yellow onion and an orange pepper. Orange pepper, okay? I'm gonna go ahead and basically get a nice color to this. We're just basically gonna let it cook for a little while, just until it just kind of cook down so it's not hard. Either way, I'm leaving it in as I do the sauce for the pasta too. So you'll see. So I'm using Mostaccioli noodles. Mostaccioli. And we'll go ahead and I'm using my vegetable chopper to mince up some fresh garlic. I love this little gadget. Somebody sent it to me from Ipere Life. And I love it. For anything mincing, you can use it for garlic, veggies, whatever. You just pull on that little lever and it's going to be minced in no time. It ain't even going to take 5 minutes, okay? Just a few times of doing that and boom, minced garlic. It's crazy. It's crazy, you know? So back to the veggies. This is how they was looking. Not all the way cooked, as you can see. But I'm about to add the garlic in as that's cooking because I wanted to wait until it was like maybe halfway done, almost done basically, to add the garlic because I don't want the garlic to burn, especially while I'm making the sauce. Like right before I start putting all the dairy in, I don't want no problems. Okay, I don't want them type of problems. So at this point, I'm adding that garlic. That garlic we just minced up. You use already minced up garlic if that's what you got, but I prefer to use fresh garlic when it comes to my pastas. Fresh garlic, but I use the minced garlic too. It really depends on what I feel like doing, but today I use fresh garlic. This is how the veggies were looking as they cooked down because I did put the top on them on like a medium-ish heat. And so, you know, some of the garlic did kind of, you know, can't get my words out, start turning brown. But that's fine because we're about to add the milk anyway. So first off, we're going to start with the heavy cream. And I was using the rest of mine. So I'll say maybe a cup. Maybe a cup. Not too much though. Not too much. Don't do too much dairy because then when you start adding other stuff, it might start to loosen. So I did a little bit of heavy cream and a little bit of milk, just like a half a cup of milk. And then I did a half a block of cream cheese because this helps to thicken the sauce. Okay. So I'm gonna put the top on it and I'm gonna let it get thick like this. See, we get a nice color. Well, not really, not no color yet, but we get a nice thickness to our sauce because I love making my own, you know, my own Alfredo sauces and things like that because, you know, I like to be real gourmet. It ain't the best if it ain't the day way, you know. So this is the thickness I wanted. I added a little bit of pasta water in there too. Well, I will be adding pasta water. But before I do that, we're gonna go ahead and season it. So I started off with my roasted garlic and pepper and bell pepper seasoning. Gave that a mix. Just adding that alone, it just smelled so good. Okay, that was before I even added anything. I'm telling you, that salt-free seasoning, the smells, it's wonderful. The black pepper, adobo, some Creole seasoning, that was about it. But like I said, the seasoning is gonna be at the bottom. So you don't have to worry about that too much. And as you can see, the sauce is thickened. Do not add your cheese sauce. I'm sorry. Don't add your cheese until the sauce has thickened. Just the milk alone. Do not do it, because if you add the sauce too prematurely, it will be all blotchy and thick and gritty. And we don't want that. We need a creamy sauce. Don't nobody want no blotchy sauce. That go for mac and cheese too. We don't want blotchy. We want a smooth creaminess like this. Like at this point, you should be at like a medium, not even a medium heat, lower than a medium. I added a little bit of pasta water, maybe a half a cup of pasta water, just to kind of loosen it up because I didn't want it to get too thick. That's why you start small when it comes to sauces. Start small, and then you can add. If you start too big, you won't be able to add. Okay? We don't want to fix no problem, so that's why we start small. We start with a little bit of liquid first and let the sauce thicken up, and then once you add everything, you're gonna see. You're gonna see what I'm saying. So the cheeses I used were I used an Asiago. It was Asiago. No, it was a white cheddar cheese, white cheddar shredded cheese, and I did a triple cheddar shredded cheese. But you know, ingredients, bottom description box. You got it. But use whatever cheese you want, okay? I kind of use cheddars, and look at that. Look at that thick. That's the creaminess I'm talking about. You don't see ain't no chunks, ain't no blotchiness, ain't none of that up in this. Okay, we not doing that. And it's starting to. I don't want it to get too thick. So as you can see, I did add some more milk. You're gonna see me adding more things because when it starts to get too thick, that's when we need to add more dairy. Okay. So you're gonna see as I start mixing the noodles in, cause go ahead and add your noodles. Add your noodles in, and we basically I'm just starting with the noodles first. Mix it in. Just mix it thoroughly. Let it get through. But you see it's starting to thicken. The sauce starting to get a little too thick. I don't want this. This is not the consistency I want yet, so I'm going to be adding more milk. No more heavy cream at this point. It's just milk and cheese. Milk, cheese, and seasonings is all I added. Because taste it as you add stuff too. Like add the milk, mix it up, taste it. You might need to add more cheese. You might need to add more seasoning. Whatever it is, just make sure you tasting as you go. Do not serve nothing that you ain't tried first, because that don't even make sense. You know, you got to test your product first before somebody else eat it. Okay. And I'm usually never eating alone. Or cooking for myself, I'll say. So by default, I got to test it even if I'm not even going to eat it. Okay. So like I said, this is just me adding more seasoning. Same seasonings that I use for, everything. This whole dish. Same seasonings is what I use. I didn't add no other seasonings. I didn't do nothing new. So you ain't got to worry about that. But just make sure you taste as you go. Okay. I got the creaminess. See, this is the creaminess I wanted. I wanted to make sure I had more sauce. Okay. Because if it get too thick, you ain't going to have no sauce. You're going to have like the creaminess factor. It's creamy because you have sauce at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, So first off, well, not first off, but I steamed some broccoli and I'm adding that in. Okay. You see, as I added that milk in, how it's starting to loosen up. That's what we want. You can add more cheese too. Add your dairy, but then add more cheese if needed. Okay. We need this to be a creamy Alfredo. Creamy Alfredo vibes is what we giving. That's what we need. Okay. That's all we doing. So I added some more cheese. Now we're adding some shrimp in. Well, the shrimp that I cooked in the air fryer. I added little by little. Just a few shrimp at a time. And then I threw in the rest of them after I mixed it up some more. Okay. But just make sure it's up to par. Like, we not doing that. You're going to see me. I have to customize. I'm a customizer. Okay. I be having to make sure it's right. It need to be right. This is what I do. This is what I love. So it's always my all into it. And I was going to say minimal effort, but it's an effort. It's 100%. Because I put my all in everything I make. And you can see that. You can just see that by looking at the screen and looking through my videos. Like, love is in my food. Like, it's pure love because I love cooking. I love to eat and I love cooking. I love to cook more than I love to eat it. It's all about the aesthetic for me. the picture, the finished product, that's my satisfaction. When you get to see, y'all getting to see the process of what I go through making my food. And then you see the end of it. You see that finished, beautiful product. It's wonderful. Like that's my high right there. It gives me a high. Showing y'all the process. Cause it ain't easy. It sure ain't. It be a lot of customization going into this. So then I had to make it pretty. I put a little bit of red pepper flakes and some parsley on top. And it was done. You got a creamy, dreamy shrimp and broccoli pasta. Alfredo pasta, whatever you want to call it. But make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back for more videos. Okay? And make sure you share too. Okay? And I'll be back. And you'll be back too. Okay?